All right, with a hidden gem now in Gloucester, we're at Harbor Loop with Dan Tremblay. And Dan, what is this place? Because from outside it looks like a little hole in the wall.
This is a dive locker museum. It consists right now of 2 rooms. They're about 170 years old. The men that worked here, there were 28 men who worked here all through the 1900s. They were involved in all kinds of work, working on the schooners out here, the large sailing vessels. And some of them wore these big moon suits. You might take a look at these. They look cumbersome, and they are. They're very heavy. They weigh between 3 and 350 pounds, depending on the size of the helmets, which can vary in size and weight. They're very difficult to work in, but they were used to work under the boats and on the floor of the harbor here on various wrecks and so on. As you can see, there are different types of suits. This is a little more modern suit, but the basic feature of these suits is that once you have them on, you need to learn how to use them, because they're tethered with an air hose. And along with the air hose is a smaller wire for telecom or telecommunications, so we can keep in touch with the person that's underwater as he's gurgling under there.
So is this little museum a public museum, Dan? People can come in here?
Yes, this museum is open to the public as long as our door is open, and either myself or Jack Monroe, the Navy veteran and submariner, my partner, are here. We're glad to, and it's totally free of charge. The only thing we have is we have our videos here, which are cost only. We don't even mark them up. They're for our tourists. The videos are a record of everything we do here, because we want to maintain some record of the history of Gloucester and the Cape Ann area.
And you actually create the videos with all this equipment?
Yeah. My company, Heritage Films, produces the videos, and I show them in assisted living homes, and I'm on the lecture circuit as well.
Okay.
As we move along, I worked on the movie The Perfect Storm, which was filmed right around the year 2000 here. I have some artifacts from working on the film. We used 2 boats in the movie, and the Hannah Bowden and the Lady Grace, and it was quite an event being here with a lot of people who'd never been to Gloucester before to work on a movie of that stature. Okay, as we move along here, we got a basic snorkel diver display. As I move back over here, we have our a little video display where I show clips from all our films, which are here at the dive locker. Again, our videos are $5. They're cost only. I actually syndicate them to television for about $2,500 a piece. They put their ads on them and they get to keep them. The films cost a fortune to make. I won't even get into that. We also have a picture of our pièce de résistance, which is our sister ship to Constitution, the New Hampshire. You might get a better picture if you pan down here. Okay. The New Hampshire is about the same size as the Constitution. She was a 74 gunner built in 1812 in Portsmouth, and never used. The Navy ran out of money, so they kept her in mothballs till the Civil War, and then she was used as a supply ship. But she was the sister ship to Constitution, and now lies near Graves Island off Manchester, Mass. Some of the artifacts we found from her are noteworthy is her anchor chain, these old lug chains that we have here. What remains of her are these concretions from the fire she had. This was lugged out of the water. She actually melted in 1922 when she was on her way to Eastport, Maine to be dismantled. This is one of her 200-pound cannonballs. We also found smaller cannonballs on her. We found all kinds of artifacts, including copper. We have nails that are made of copper, silver, and gold, marked U.S. with the cocked off U.S. is the Paul Revere Foundry. These were found in the mud under the ship in Manchester, Mass. This is our array of helmets, our Mark V helmets. That one on the left was made in 1838, served through the Civil War. Get out. Yep. Wow. This one here is the Cuba Gooding style one in the movie Men of Honor. If you watch that movie, you'll see that 120-pound helmet style was used in the movie.
How deep can you go in these suits?
About 180 feet maximum capability. Okay. Some have gone deeper, but you've got to know how to.
That's a lot of pressure down there. All right.
Yes, it is. And this is the one we used in our film. It's about 70 pounds.
Mhm.
And it affixes to a neck brace, a suit, and then some heavy boots, a weight belt. When you're in the water, you're actually buoyant with this equipment because it fills up with air. But when you release the air, then you start going down. And you've got to go down straight. You've got to go down straight. You can't go down head first.
So Dan, the hours of this operation here, I'm going to post a link to your to what we have here. But what are the hours of operation of this place?
Right now it's tough. The original owner, Paul Harling, used to be here every day. But right now Jack and I are primarily here weekends, and I come down in between takes during the week.
All right, we're going to tease this because you got some more stuff in the back room, but we're going to save that for another time. Maybe just a quick
that's
teaser
okay.
on that.
That's okay.
What do you got back there?
Well, noteworthy is that German captain's U-boat German captain suit with a seaman suit. There was a lot of U-boat activity off of Gloucester during World War II. We have some interesting stories we've done about that. The U-boats were named anything from U-1 to U-3 300, and they were about 80% of the U-boat crews were lost during World War II because of all the depth charges and when they come up at night to try to refuel their diesels, and they suffered, of course, heavy losses from accidents at sea, bombardment, and so on. But they also caused a lot of havoc to our shipping going overseas to service our troops. So we did a couple of stories about U-boats. Also, we did a major story about the Squalus, an American submarine out of Portsmouth, 1939, on its maiden run. She had a mechanical pump problem, went down to a depth of 243 feet with 59 men aboard. 33 of them were rescued by a diving bell. The rest had drowned. It was the first time ever that men had been rescued by a diving bell off the Falcon, which was a Navy recovery ship back in 1939. So we did that story. It was very dramatic. And we go on the road with it as well. We actually lecture on that. So,
Well, Dan, thank you for the time, and we will be
appreciate it.
back. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
Dan Tremblay. We're at Harbor Loop in Gloucester.